Hey, what's up, guys? This is me, Anthony Arcane. I'm back again, and this time I wanted to tell a story about what pretty much got me really interested in occultism. My whole life I was into it. My whole life I was into the idea of magic, and I was into ghosts and demons and everything haunted, like horror films, things of that nature. Um, there's been weird things in my life that have happened since I was a child, with me, with my family. I believe I was brought up in a haunted house, a lot of things like that. But the really crazy thing that happened was in 2012 when my father died, went to hell, and came back again. Now the thing about this is my father wasn't a religious man, and he certainly wasn't into the idea of hell and demons and near-death experiences. He didn't know anything about that kind of stuff, and so what happened was he had went in for a pacemaker around 11 o'clock on a Thursday morning, and it was supposed to be a 45-minute procedure. And about an hour and a half later, his doctor comes out, and he's all shaky and sweaty, and he says, "Anthony, we had a major problem." He says, "Everything is okay now." He says, "But we had a problem." He said, "It's the weirdest thing in the world." He said, "Your father actually died." He said, "We did everything that we can do to bring him back." And he says, "He wants to see you, and he has a really weird story." I said, "What do you mean?" And he says, "Oh, just go talk to him." And I went in there. My father was 100% alert, and he said, "Anthony, I fucking died." He said, "They fucking killed me." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I died. They fucking killed me, and I went to hell." And everybody's looking around, and they were just like all shaky and all weird. So I said, "Dad, what happened?" And he said they were doing the surgery, and he said all of a sudden, from what he knew, he was looking up over his body, and he saw all the doctors, all the nurses. He knew what everybody said. He knew what everybody had done. For days after, people were coming in asking him questions. They couldn't believe it. The staff was just shocked. They were scared, and they couldn't believe what they were hearing, and they wanted to keep on asking and wanted to document this. So he says he saw the staff pumping his chest, trying to bring him back, and he heard what they were all doing. But on the other end of that, he said that he was in this really deep, dark tunnel, and he felt himself being dragged down. And beneath him, he said he saw wild beasts, and he said that they were fighting. And I said, "What were you doing?" And he said he was trying to climb his way up. He said he saw a little hole, like a little bit of light, not like the bright light of God, but just like light, like he could climb out of this tunnel. And he says as he was slipping down the tunnel beneath him, he seen all these weird beasts fighting with each other. And he saw what he thought was me and my mother reaching down, saying, "Dad, come back to us, come back to us." And he said he was trying to get back to us. And that was pretty much it. But he said it was very realistic. He saw all the people in the room trying to save him. He saw all of that, and then he saw this deep, dark pit, and he saw all these wild beasts. And when I started looking into it, this is kind of something that a lot of people that do have these near death or these death experiences, they do actually see demonic beasts fighting and slashing and tearing themselves apart in hell. So that pretty much got me into studying heaven, got me studying hell, got me reading the Bible. Not that it proved my life or the way I lived my life or anything like that, especially at that point. But it really got me studying. And what I got out of that is that if there's definitely a hell, my father was not a religious man, like I said. So for him to make this up, it wouldn't have happened. So if there is a hell and there is demons, there has to be a heaven. And I guess there has to be angels too. And think myself especially just thinking about this again. Got to try to do everything that we can do to make it into heaven. And eventually 6 months later, my father died for real, and he didn't change his life or the way he was living it. So he probably is in hell. He probably is in hell. And the funny thing is that when he used to say, we had a lot of stress going on. My father was sick back then. He had Parkinson's, he had heart troubles, he had a lot of problems. And he always says that he wished that he didn't come back to life. He said, "I was almost out of this mess. I was almost out of this mess." So, regardless of anything, according to him, hell was better than earth. So that goes to show you what a lot of people think about life on this earth. I just wanted to share that story. I mean, it wasn't anything like earth-shattering or, like the deepest story in the world, but that's because it's a true story, and that's all I have for you guys. And, let's all try to live a little bit better so we're not the next ones to be dragged off into hell. All right? Be back to see you guys soon, and thank you.